Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Freeing Your Mind. So, today I'm going to talk about the Privacy Act. Did you ever wonder why you have to provide your social security number everywhere? All this stuff, like your social security number is used for everything. Anywhere from banking to getting even an ID card. They'll force you to disclose your social security number. Everywhere, all over the place. You want to get a public service? Social security number. But apparently, Congress passed the Privacy Act of 1974, where they can't deny rights or services according to it. So over here, I have a document that frees everybody from any obligation to give any government agency their social security number. And let me just read it over. This is Public Law 93-579. This is signed December 31st, 1974. It's an 88 statute. To amend Title V United States Code by adding a section 552A to safeguard individual privacy from the misuse of federal records, to provide that individuals be granted access to records concerning them which are maintained by federal agencies, to establish a Privacy Protection Study Commission, and for other purposes. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America assembled, that this act may be cited as the Privacy Act of 1974. Section 2A. Congress finds that 1. The privacy of an individual is directly affected by the collection, maintenance, use, and dissemination of personal information by federal agencies. The increasing use of computers and sophisticated information technology, this is in 1974, mind you, while essential to the efficient operations of the government, has greatly magnified the harm to individual privacy that can occur from any collection, maintenance, use, or dissemination of personal information. Number 3, the opportunities for an individual to secure employment, insurance, and credit, and his right, due process, and other legal protections are endangered by the misuse of certain information systems. Number 4, the right to privacy is a personal and fundamental right protected by the Constitution of the United States. And number 5, in order to protect the privacy of individuals identified in information systems maintained by federal agencies, it is necessary and proper for the Congress to regulate the collection and maintenance and use and the dissemination of information by such agencies. B. The purpose of this act is to provide certain safeguards for an individual against an invasion of personal privacy by requiring federal agencies, except as otherwise provided by law, to 1. Permit an individual to determine what records pertaining to him are collected, maintained, used, or disseminated by such agencies. Number 2. Permit an individual to prevent records pertaining to him obtained by such agencies for particular purpose from being used or made available for another purpose without his consent. Number 3. Permit an individual to gain access to information pertaining to him in federal agency records, to have a copy made of all any portion thereof, and to correct or amend such record. Number 4. Collect, maintain, use, or disseminate any record of identifiable personal information in a manner that assures that such action is for a necessary and lawful purpose, and that the information is current and accurate for its intended use, and that the adequate safeguards are provided to prevent misuse of such information. Number 5. Permit exemption from the requirements with respect to records provided in this Act only in the cases where there is a determined specific statutory authority. And number 6. To subject to civil suit for any damages which occur as a result of willful or intentional action which violate any individual's rights under this Act. And over here, you could write to, and in response to what action that you're citing them. And over here, notice it says, on or about AM PM, whatever date it is, a sovereign citizen demanded of a public servant, put their name down here, to provide her with all of the information that he or she is entitled to under Privacy Act of 1974 and the Freedom of Information Act. That said public servant willfully, wantonly, maliciously, intentionally, and criminally refused to provide the information as guaranteed by the law, the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the statutes passed pursuant thereto. That said public servant, by his/her criminal actions, has placed said sovereign citizen in a position of being unlawfully deprived of his/her constitutional rights and all violation of federal and state laws. That the notice is served in person or by mail upon said public servant prior to commencing litigation for said denial of rights, and to place said public servant on notice that said sovereign citizen demands all of his or her rights and, in the future, as secured by the Constitution for the United States of America, and all the laws passed pursuant thereto, and that any denial of all these rights or the refusal to protect and defend same by said public servant will be considered actionable as against the servant, without further notice to him or her. So you date it, and you sign it. That's pretty much it. You inform anybody that asks you for a social security number, why do you need this, and I don't want to do this. And if they refuse to give you your rights, your true right, you can give them this notice, and apparently they could be tried. And apparently also, I'm not 100% sure of this, but every time that they violate this thing and you write one of these out, you can sue them for $1,000. So let's go around, and anywhere they ask you for a social security number, be like, okay, Privacy Act of 1974, guys, I don't have to provide you that. I don't have to provide you that because it is not necessary. These guys in 1974, back when computers were at infancy, were put into regulation that you don't need the social security number for anything. So whenever you're giving out your social security number, remember, you're doing it voluntarily, unless you tell them, Privacy Act, I'm sorry, I can't give that to you. Chances are, they'll say, oh, you're not going to get this thing or that thing, but you notice them and you pursue legal action against them. And eventually, when enough people pursue legal action against these criminals, then we can all win, and we could all safeguard our privacy and live in a happier, more peaceful world. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this, and I'm going to put this up on my website, libertyperspective.com. You could download it, print it out, and give it to your public servants who are trying to demand the social security number from you. Okay, guys? So thanks very much. Bye-bye.